good things yesterday. We'll just see how he does today. We load him up again today, and they actually have a walkthrough, so it's very much like training camp. They have a walkthrough, and then they have the practice in the afternoon. So sometimes the second day can be a nice challenge for him with the overload part of it. So.
I played X last year, and I felt like that was the majority of the role. And then as time goes by, our coach wanted me to implement me in the slot, and then so just trying to move me around just for like occasions like when I get to the NFL, I can bounce back and forth.
It's probably far too early for these guys who have told you, but are you learning? Are you trying to learn every?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn. Just trying to learn the offense as of right now. So just trying to learn everything I can.
What are your initial impressions of the offense and getting your hands on the playbook?
It's very complex, dealing with Andy Reid, so it's very complex offense.
As we've heard before, very complex offense. But yeah, Jalen Royals, he made a lot of good snags. I mean, he was one of everyone who was there was talking about his what he showcased the last 3 days there. Here's some of the highlights there. His media wasn't allowed in for the whole practice, but I mean, he showed some flash out there from as far as what the media was seeing at the minicamp. But JD, talking about, people talk about the small school, coming from not a small school, but coming from a not a Power 5 conference.
Yeah, right.
But coming from a Utah State offense to an Andy Reid offense, that's going to be kind of a learning curve. There's a whole learning curve in general, but going from a Utah State offense to this Andy Reid offense, like he said. But I will say this: a guy who's playing X and slot, playing all over the place, it's not immune. It's not a thing where it's odd to him or foreign to him, learning all these different positions and playbooks. So I think that does bode well for him learning everything.
Yeah, I'm glad that the coach there at Utah State had the foresight to sit there and say, "Hey, man, we're going to move you around," because he probably knew he was going to get drafted. He knew how talented he was, and so what that does is just helps your chances to get on the NFL football team. And so we took him because he is a high caliber player. You can see him right here, returning punts and kickoffs or whatever it is that he's doing right here. Talented guy. You can see his lower body looks powerful as well. Way he was, getting out of the breaks, turning around, catching the ball with his football with his hands. I think, man, he's a solid receiver. And so, like Andy was sitting there saying, like, man, it's all about retention. Can he retain the information that we're giving you? It's going to be an overload that we throw into you. And so for guys, it's going to be motion. It's going to be, what formation, how everything's being called, what you do on the RPOs, color scheme, whatever it may be. Okay. The depths of the route, what we actually want you to do on this particular thing, how you set this up. All those things matter. They all matter. And those are little things, especially at that position at wide receiver, because we do a lot of crossing guys over safeties and over top of linebackers. And you got to have spots on the field that you got to be. You got to be at the right depth if you want to influence the defender. And not just for you, but for the other guys that's trying to get open too, who's all running routes. But he looks like he's hungry. Seems like he's very coachable. But you see right here, man, he's very athletic. Look at him. Here's another guy that looks smooth. Just in and out of break. We know he can catch the football. So, yeah, I think Chiefs hit on this one real good. They did. They hit on this one right here, man, for real. So.
Yeah, in that receiver line, the other guy on the other side was Elijah Badger, the dude we picked up, the undrafted free agent from Florida who went 29 catches for 800 yards last year. So, like, they really hit home runs all over the – I mean, obviously we need to see these guys play, but, like, based on the paper and looking at the guys' numbers and the highlights and all that stuff, I mean, I think they hit on a lot of the draft picks as well as the UDFAs. But we'll see how that all plays out. But yeah, no, Royals looks polished. Him talking about the playbook, playing slot, playing X, I think that's going to pay off so well. And like you said, kudos to the Utah State coach for kind of having the foresight to look and say, hey, man, your size with your talent, you're going to play all over the field, and let's maximize your talents by starting that now. So now he's already kind of has that ingrained where you can play inside and outside. I think that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what we demand here in this offense. No question about it. So, yeah.
I love here because obviously he returns punts or kicks, or I think this is returning punts here. Look at Dave Tobe. He's loving that.
Yeah.
Smirk on his face.
Bro, listen, it creates value for you. It makes look, one thing you have to do, especially in the NFL, you got to make it hard for them to get rid of you. That's how it works. So the more you can do, the better off you're going to be. I always tell guys that. Okay, when I coach, I say, hey man, the more you can do, the better off you're going to be. So that means playing special teams, and you got to play special teams well. You got to have the will and the want to. You got to make sure you come out there. You're going to try to block. You got to have to give every part of your heart and your desire to come out here and be good. And so looks like another good kid, another guy. So
Yeah, they struck gold. They struck gold for sure.
Did.
And he's part of the reasons why I think that offense is going to be explosive, like you talked about earlier. I mean, to talk about right now, to say Ink him in as the number 4 receiver between Rice, Worthy, Hollywood, and him, and this guy could be legit. It's pretty nice to have him as the number 4. Scary. Scary.
Well, he got to work. He got to earn that 4 though.
That's true. That's true.
Earn it. You got to earn it. I ain't gonna give you nothing. Shoot, you ain't got it. Another thing. Hey, you ain't got in there yet. We got to see. So
that's true. Stanley Mooney, Badger had 0 drops. That is talent with great hands. Talking about Florida's Badger.
Yeah.
0 drops.
He didn't have a whole lot of catches though, right?
Now, this past year, he had 29 catches, but he had 800 yards with it, which is outrageous.
Yeah, it just sucks getting up the field, flying.
Badger. Yeah, I mean, Badger caught essentially everything in college. Okay, so he had 8 drops over 271 targets. So not entirely right, Stanley Mooney. So he had 8 drops over 271 targets during his college career. He may have had 0 drops last year, but over his college career, he had 8 over 271 targets. So one thing I did learn, not with Royals, because Royals played Utah State the entire time, but Rashard Smith was talking about playing in 2 different with the new age of college football, where guys are going from school to school to school to school. It's actually making it easier for when they do go from college to the NFL to adapt to a new system, because they've already had to do that. And that's kind of preparing kids for the future for the NFL. What do you think about that?
I guess that's one thing you can get out of it, something good.
Yeah.
Being in multiple systems, having different terminology that you can adapt to whatever system that they're running. So, yeah, that's a positive out of that particular thing. It is. Another thing is that the negative is you keep going place to place, man, it might not get to play. You know it's not going to be that great.
Yeah.
So
you definitely run the risk there.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah. Jenny, just because this is Badgers, you can only see a little bit of Badger here. What's the difference? What do you see from the difference between Badgers getting out of the breaks versus Royals getting out of the breaks? Not this. That's the next. I think it's the next clip here.
Badgers, what number? 80?
Number 80, yeah. So he's right there.
Badger's a taller guy. So him, the stutter step of, putting in and stopping and starting doesn't look as fluid, doesn't look as fast. See how easy it is for Royals to drop his hip?
Yeah.
He's getting out of that break, man, easy. He can do a double move on the guy. I'm not saying Royals can't, but it'll be a more smoother transition of him kind of doing that. Look how quick he is with his feet. See that?
Yeah. Much more smooth.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Gary Hall and Casey did a great job at drafting Royals, and he's going to be a good receiver. Hopefully.
I think so too, Gary.
Bradley Sexton question. I feel like we had gold mine. We hit gold mine with Jalen Royal, young wide receiver, and like we did with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Agree or disagree?
I agree with you, Bradley, 100%, man. I agree with you 100%.
Hey, Jalen Royals was chief concerns approved 3 weeks before the draft. We put the stamp on it 3 weeks before the draft.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys who did that for the draft. I was
the whole draft class.
Yeah. I was talking to barbershop today. Sean Barber, not this barbershop that's on here, but Sean Barber, we were sitting there talking. I said, man, shop, like we got like the draft class. He's like, I know, JD, I know, daggone. He said, I watched y'all pat yourselves on the back for about 5 minutes. Yeah, We supposed to. That's what we supposed to do, man. He said, yeah, I know. I heard you. I heard you. So,
Hey, Barbershop, we have a 20% hit rate. One out of every 5 players we talked about, we drafted or
hey,
signed.
man, yes, sir. Yeah, shop. So you see it, baby. You know, we doing that thing. We doing our thing. Our thing fizzle. That's it.
That's funny that he saw that.
Yeah. JD, I seen the show. I know. You and Marcus, Taze, you know, taking a victory lap. That's it. Hey, man, if not us, then who, right?
Right?
Everyone's been doing it. So
That's funny. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.